if you're gonna be in tank mode or a lost season, at best you want some development. Because that's where I'm at. I believe that's where my main man is at as well. It's like, yo, we're not going to the playoffs. Let's at least develop these players that we do have. That we know
out yet, though.
We'll be out. Trust me. Like it's coming.
Well, it's coming.
It's coming.
But I looked at Dallas' schedule too, and there's some winnable games on that schedule, man. There's some teams that aren't playing as well, and that's why I was thinking.
Wild card?
No, not wild card.
How dare you?
No. I'm not even thinking playoffs. But what I'm saying is there are some winnable games left on the schedule. You continue to play. Just continue to play as hard as you can play. Leave it all on the field, and then find something I feel like to build off going into the next year. The unknown is what's going to happen coaching wise. And you know, if they're actually going to be active in free agency next year.
Yes.
So that's the unknown. But what you already have there, you got good pieces there still. Especially on the defensive side. You know, there's a few receivers away. You know, some offensive line work, and you never can have too many edge rushers. If you're talking about, you know, how you approach the draft. But I just think that I'm not a big tank guy. I feel like Dallas can continue to play with some pride. You know, give the fans something, even though you've given them much of nothing the first part. Finish the season strong, and then go into the offseason and get to work and try to build something into the next year. Because that's usually how it goes. Every time we have these historically bad years,
we come back with
years with, you know, decimated by injuries, this reminds me exactly of 2015. The year that Tony Romo missed like 12, 13 games or something like that. And, you know, that's the next year where you get, Dak and Zeke. And then, you know, the rest, and, you know, you are competitive the rest of the, you know, during that tenure. So, you know, I feel good about where they are. You know, I just, as far as the word tank, like to go out there and purposely try to lose. I ain't with it. I'm not with it, man. I'm sorry.
I do want to flip the script, though. I want to look at the schedule from the other side of it. Our teams could actively go 0-5 and still not change anything, right? The teams below us are A, terrible, and B, don't play each other. Those teams that are between the Giants and Jets and the Cowboys, a.k.a. those 4-5 win teams, the Niners still play the Bears and the Rams. The Rams still play the Niners and the Saints. The Bengals can actively help you by beating them. There's a ton of self-fighting all chilling there in that 4-5.
Correct.
The Cowboys have, of our three teams, the Cowboys have the most to gain mathematically by shooting par the rest of the way because the teams behind them can pass them more easily. We would actively have to go 0-5 and then get some help from like New England accidentally winning a game. The one thing I at least have, the Jags can beat us directly. You guys just have to sit and wait and hope a team wins a game by accident.
Yeah, and on top of that, like it was crazy. I saw the playoff picture during the Detroit Bears game early on, and it had us in the hunt. And I'm just like, how? But the team directly in front of us was the Bears, who lost. So we already got a tick by winning against the Giants. And believe it or not, Dallas is in the hunt for that 7th wild card seed.
Technically, I mean, listen, you're 5-7. If you somehow miraculously went out and you go 10-7. You know, and then, you know, you start talking about tiebreakers and stuff like that. But that's not what I'm looking for. I'm just looking for them to be competitive. Like, you have the Bengals coming up. You got 10 days to get ready for them. They haven't been playing their best football this year. It's definitely a winnable game. And then after that, I forgot who they have.
I think we got the Bucks.
I think it's the
we got the Panthers, Bucks.
The Panthers are right after. The Panthers are right after the Bengals. And that's definitely a winnable game.
You can do us a favor with that loss. Everyone agrees if the Panthers can win that game.
Right.
That also help cover my over.
Listen, just play as tough as you can. Like I said, 4 is not coming back this year. So I'm not interested in any type of real run. But, you know, like I said, I'm just looking for bright spots in development at this point of the young players. We're seeing it with Overshown, making an incredible play.
Dom DeMarco for Overshown. Dom DeMarco. Star.
I mean, do you know how much – I'm just looking at everything he did. He got hit by he had to run over the running back. He tips the ball to himself, catches it, runs it. Like, this, the
That's
athleticism.
That's how trash Joe Locke is, bro.
Yo, that was crazy.
That was insane. That was crazy. When I saw the highlight, because I was driving when you
see a screen that's not opening up, just throw it to the ground.
He still tried to throw it, and that guy with his arm range was able to do that.
Tommy DeVito doesn't make that play.
Tommy DeVito, I don't know if Chicken Cutlets makes it.
Tommy Cutlets insanity.
Cutlets.
But no, I'm completely with you. The idea of Travis Hunter and CeeDee Lamb is ridiculous when you think about that.
It is.
But that's a pipe dream.
I also don't think you can get that high.
Yeah,
even 5 and 12.
5 and 7.
5 and 12 does not get you to Tommy Hunter.
And our schedule
not Tommy Hunter. Travis Hunter. It might get you to Tommy Hunter.
Tommy Hunter, yeah.
The way the Cowboys draft, who knows? But it's not getting you to Travis Hunter.
But no, I think we're gonna win too many games.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think at least 2 more. I think we're gonna beat the Panthers.
I think you beat the Panthers.
Yeah, and the Bengals game's a toss-up.
The Bengals, it's a toss-up.
Yeah.
It depends on how you play.
Diggs back, right?
Yeah,
Diggs should be back.
We got 10 days off. I believe you'll have Diggs and Bland together finally.
You have 2 more division games with the Eagles and the Washington.
We just got Cooks back. They said Jerry, who loves announcing things, DeMarcus Lawrence is coming back for this next game as well. Like we're not gonna be in the top 5. I'm reserved with that. So I'm reserved.
I didn't want to be in the top 5 though, because there's nobody really there that Dallas needs, if that makes any sense.
I love Travis Hunter though.
I like Travis too.
That's me.
But
that's
it's like it almost makes me feel like is there any really room for him? You know what I'm saying? Because you got Bland, who you're probably gonna have to end up paying. You have Trayvon Diggs, and it's like, all right, so where does Travis fit in? You know what I'm saying? Unless you're putting him at the receiving side,
I think he'd be a unicorn. He'd be doing what he's doing in college. I think he's going to be primarily
receiver. Listen, we've seen it done before. Deion was the primary corner.
Deion did it.
Primary corner, receiver, here and there, sprinkled in.
Yep.
And so it's like the reversed, basically. That makes a lot of sense.
I believe that would be his plan if he was in Dallas. For sure. But I think we're going to finish somewhere in the teens, somewhere between 15 to 14 to 16.
I think we go 7 and 10.
That'd be interesting.
Probably.
I'll take that.
Yeah, 7 and 10, 8 and 9.
A nice competitive 7 and 10 or 8 and 9 is good for me.
Yeah, I'm good for
I'm good with that.
Considering everything that has been lost and how you started the season, that would be like a moral victory win, if you will.
I'm fine with that. And again, like I mentioned before, to me, the development is key. Because we got a lot of young guys. They went all in, quote unquote, Jerry Jones, you liar, with the draft.
Right.
And young players. That's what they wanted. We talked about it on the last episode, the great episode with D Sizzle and Jason Enrique. This is a soft rebuild for Dallas. They want to get as many young players in. They want to reset the cap next year. Everyone talks. I think Jimmy Johnson. He was doing the Fox like Cowboy script, talking about Dallas's cash strapped, which is complete cap. About the cap, we can open up $100 million of cap space next year by flipping a trigger on Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, and cutting one player. I think Terrence Steele. That's $100 million in 3 moves right there. If Dallas chooses not to do that and actually get busy with free agency with the new coaching staff, then they're just. This is just rinse and repeat. You're going to get the same result as this year. But I believe a new coach and the stink of missing the playoffs, because for Dallas to miss the playoffs is a big deal.
We don't even know if it's going to be a new coach. The way Jerry talking about.
Jerry's lying.
I don't know. This is a Super Bowl winning coach.
I don't know. I like the pie. I like what we have in Mike. Mike's doing some good things. Man, shut up. Man. Like, nobody want to hear what you got to say about that nonsense.
Well, so that's the question on the other side of the tank, which is why, again, because I don't have to live it, I just have to sit over here in Jets hell. I can take the other side.
It's savages. It's savages.
But if you get to 7 and 10, there's a lot of good things happening. Because right now, 17 teams with 5 losses or less. 5 losses or more. Excuse me. 5 wins or less. That's what I'm trying to. 17 bad teams. That's what I'm trying to say. I think the Colts schedule is too soft. They're going to play their way out of that. But if you look at the other 16, power rankings wise, I think the Cowboys could easily. You can make a case they're the best of the 16 bad teams. So I think you are correct that you're going to end up in that 13 to 16 range draft pick.
Don't win too many games.
And if you finish quote unquote maybe 3rd in your division, you get a 3rd place schedule next year.
I'm okay with that.
To work with.
I'm okay with that.
You know what I mean? So,
but here's
I'm okay with that.
Here's the question: is that sort of middle of the pack and that sort of hey, we made good strides, worth it in order to hear an offseason of defensive Mike McCarthy, and B, an offseason of because the narrative's going to start. well, they could win games without Dak Prescott. They couldn't win games with Dak Prescott. Is Dak Prescott the problem?
No, that narrative is stupid.
You know it's coming, and you know who it's coming from.
Because guess what?
Can you handle? Am I have to do wellness checks on you every month?
Yes.
Can you handle that? That's my concern. That this is gonna the rhetoric on the Cowboys, because Jerry. The older Jerry gets, the more Jerry listens. Is just the sad truth. And I'm worried that them doing too many good things at the end of the year is going to be bad for the offseason narrative, and may do some long-term, unhealthy things for this team. They're, in a way, them being just being terrible the rest of the way. You can say, well, of course they were terrible. They didn't have their really good quarterback. Now, next year Dak comes back, and then you do everything you two just said you do, and then it's a new day. Yes, it is. But in the meantime,
love you, Big E.
I worry about, will success, in the national narrative, just be more fodder to aim at Dak.